So the trial of this year probably started today, March 7th, Monday, 2016. Hulk Hogan, brother, saying prayers, eating vitamins, 24-inch pythons, taking on the media conglomerate known as Gawker. For those of you who are not familiar with Gawker, you're probably familiar with their other website, Kotaku. $100 million lawsuit because of a leaked sex tape that was recorded without his knowledge, without his consent, and exposed a private side of him that he did not want the public to see. He is a public figure, he is a household name, he is an icon, he is a legend. And this video incorporated a moment of pure weakness that culminated in a racist tirade that cost him his job with WWE and completely tarnished his reputation. So, $100 million he is seeking in damages, which, if he wins, will most likely put Gawker out of business. And personally, I would love to see that happen. But let's go back to the beginning. Let us take us back to pretty much where this started. Okay? Got something right here just so I can make sure I got it all down so I don't kind of miss too much. Anyway, Hogan was offered on a few occasions to have sex with the wife of his best friend at the time, Bubba the Love Sponge, around the time just after his brutal divorce with Linda. So about 10 or so years ago. And at least one of those moments was filmed, again, without his knowledge or consent. When Gawker anonymously received the tape, they deemed it newsworthy to post and added their commentary to it because Hogan was open about his sex life before. At least that's what they claim, and I'm sure that that might actually be true. But here's the thing. This was recorded against his wishes. This was recorded in what he thought was a part of his private life. Let me ask you a question, internet goers watching this right now. Do we have the right to a private life? Do celebrities have a right to a private life? Or do they have to constantly live under the microscope? Do they have to be constantly recorded while they're sleeping, having sex, taking a shit, eating at Wendy's? I mean, is there no end to this? This is a lawsuit that either way it goes is going to set a precedent on what is right and what is wrong. So this is very important. This is something that we need to talk about. We need to discuss about and figure out for ourselves whether or not Gawker is wrong in this or whether they're purely in the right. Me personally, I think this is all bullshit that this happened so long ago, was brought up back in 2012 when this happened, and then recently it got posted, and it cost him his job. Yes, what he said was terrible. I mean, it was bad. I don't even want to repeat it. We've had plenty of videos you can look up on YouTube that can basically repeat, paraphrase, or whatever the shit he said in this tape. And that was the main stuff that was talked about, which is kind of interesting that they're kind of trying to avoid talking about that. But regardless, this is something that they were already ordered to have taken down. You know, they were pretty much in the wrong to post to begin with. And, you know, because the ghosts of the past come back to haunt you, it cost him a lot. And for them to talk about that this is in their First Amendment right to do this, the freedom of the press and all that shit, is kind of funny because a couple years ago, they were doing everything they could to cover up their own little sex scandal involving Zoe Quinn and Nathan Grayson and among a few other people within their little group that pretty much showed that there really is little to no ethics in journalism, at least in the gaming area, and really anywhere else. So it's kind of funny that, it wasn't okay for all the stuff with Zoe Quinn to happen, but it was perfectly okay for the Hulk Hogan thing to happen, and among other people. Why is that? Are they excluded from this form of scrutiny? I'm really hoping that trial brings this up, because it shows that they're a bunch of hypocrites. But like I said, more than anything, this was a leaked tape that was recorded against his permission. And it's out. And it hurt him. It hurt him bad. His reputation is fucked right now. He's toxic. He has been for a while. Things are getting a little bit better. I'm hoping that eventually people can forgive him for all this and give him a chance to redeem himself. Already, as I see all the pieces around me, this is during a time where he was in a very dark place. Going through a nasty divorce. His son in jail for that vehicular incident. His daughter, him spending lots and lots of money on a music career that she basically abandoned. And yeah, he was pissed. He was upset. But really, when you think about it, Hulk Hogan is, in his roots, an entertainer. Always trying to impress people. Always trying to go what he thinks is cool. Sometimes you can have a conflict on whether or not you can believe a word he says. And with this little racist part, I kind of wonder about that myself. I really don't think that Hulk Hogan's racist. I could be wrong. He did say some pretty bad shit. But who hasn't said bad shit of things? I've said my fair share of stuff that I think back and think, wow, that really did come off really bad. Does that mean that, someone's secretly filming that, posts it and all that shit, that I should be cool with that because, it's newsworthy? Think about that for a second. Just completely take the character of Hulk Hogan, take the character of, Terry Bollea, the actual man, just set it aside for a second and put yourself in that position. How would you feel if this happened to you? How would you feel if, for the lulz, for the money, they damaged your reputation? And it cost you your job. It cost you friends. It cost you basically being from a social aristocrat, if you will, to a social pariah. And we're supposed to be, agreeing that Gawker was in the right here? This shit can happen to anybody. And I'm sure that if something happened and the founder of Gawker got involved in something really bad and someone caught him on it, I'm sure he wouldn't say, oh, well, it's their legal right to do so. Freedom of press. He's lying through his fucking teeth. And anyone who actually thinks that he would go with it, that if he was caught doing something stupid, that he would just be, oh, well, they're a fucking moron. Okay? Yeah, no one wants to see their lives blow up in their face. Okay? So, here's the thing. Courts started. They went through a while going through the jury. Jury's ready. Court date started today. Opening statements have been through. They're still going on as I'm filming this. I haven't got a chance to actually watch the court date, or the actual hearing itself. Though if you want to, from what I heard, Gawker has it posted, but when I tried to go on there, it wasn't working for me for some reason. I don't know why. It's kind of funny. They're milking every bit of this they can. Even posting it. Because they know if they fuck up and they lose, they're going to need all that ad revenue possible. So, yes. Gawker's posting the live hearing. You can find news stories all over the place from NBC, ABC, New York Post. I think New York Times has something. So it's out there. It's getting out there. And I'm really hoping that this continues to be talked about and people kind of come to their senses and just kind of have common sense on the situation that, yes, freedom of speech is important. You shouldn't censorship. I don't believe in censorship. But you know what? I don't believe in someone recording their private lives and they didn't want that to happen and it gets put out. Now, if he recorded it himself for whatever reason and then it came out, in my opinion, that's a different story because he willingly and knowingly recorded that himself. But this isn't that case. This is someone else doing it without his permission, without him even knowing that there's cameras there. Okay? For all we know, he was trying to impress this girl. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't even want to ask him about this shit. Okay? But this is a very important topic. I keep on stressing that, and that's because this is very important. If it goes either way, you're going to hear extremes on both sides. On one side, if Gawker loses and they fall apart and they're gone, everyone's going to say, oh, it's the end of free speech, which, you know what, honestly, no, it's not. But I'd be more worried about Gawker winning the lawsuit because then what else is sacred? What else is newsworthy? Something as extreme as this being okay. What else is deemed okay? Something you have to really think about here. But I find it funny that one of the opening statements that Gawker's defense attorney added was that the founder of Gawker comes from a family of values or whatever. And his mother is a Holocaust survivor. And he knows the consequence of suppressing speech. So basically within in the beginning of the trial, in the very beginning, the defense already brings up the Holocaust. And at least to me, connecting the dots together, that's pretty much, in my opinion, trying to say that Hulk Hogan is a Nazi. So, hey, guess what, guys? Hulk Hogan's a Nazi. He doesn't want this porno out. He doesn't want to hear people saying he dropped the N-bomb and all that stuff out. So he is a Nazi. Sounds like news to me, right? So, yeah, I found that kind of funny that he added that. Hulk Hogan's attorney said that, they willingly and knowingly did this to damage his character and to make money. And then Gawker's attorney was saying that, he's doing this lawsuit just so he can make money. Well, he's got to recover damages somehow. No one wants to hire him at this point. I would hope he would have a nest egg, but who knows? After all the royalties and all that stuff. He lost a pretty nice Legends contract because of all this. Money's got to come in somewhere. And, at least he claims he's doing this to set a precedent to show that this isn't okay and this is something that'll happen to other media conglomerates if they decide to do something like this. Looking at you, TMZ. And if they were to continue stuff like this, that it would happen to them. So I'm going to keep on looking into this because this fascinates me on trying to figure out what's going to happen. And I think Hulk Hogan's supposed to take the stand today. I think he's supposed to be the first witness. So I'm going to look into it more. I'm sure other people are going to be posting this. I'm sure Mundane Matt will have something. I can see a lot of people posting a couple things on this, but it's one of those things. This needs to be talked about because, again, fucking Gawker, you know, it wasn't Gamergate. It's this, and they're trying to defend their actions, which is, in a sense, almost the complete opposite of what they were doing before. And they don't care about you. I mean, most of their audience, they think are a bunch of mindless drones anyway. You know, they write a whole bunch of opinion pieces pushing a certain agenda, at least Kotaku, which is related. So, anyway, that's it for today. Hopefully we'll get some more updates coming in soon, and I will post links on various articles about all this, including the Gawker one. And you know, if you don't have TV, I think CNN was posting it. So if you have TV and have CNN, you can watch it. Otherwise, you know, you can try to get it on Gawker, or maybe YouTube might have something. I don't know. Anyway, till next time, folks. See you later. But before I leave, I think I found the perfect representation of what this has done to Hulk Hogan. This is Hulk Hogan in his pristine glory. The golden hair, the bandana, which was, you know, before the do-rag. You know, the handlebar blonde mustache, the 24-inch pythons, the prayers and the vitamins. You know, but look at it. Look how murky it's gotten. And if you get close enough, look what you see. Look at that crack. That image split from top to bottom. That's what Gawker did to him. And hell, if you ever become famous, become a director, an actor, a celebrity, an athlete, whatnot, and you get caught in a moment of weakness, which you thought was a private affair, turned out to not be so much a private affair. This can happen to you. So, think about that.